Hey everyone, I'm Stuart with Your Car Haggler. We are professional car hagglers, and what I have in my hands is some numbers from a dealership. I'd like to review the call with you so you can kind of hear what I go through on behalf of our clients. It actually took me not just one or two or three, it took me 4 times to get the right numbers for my client, all on paper. So, what I'd like to do is play the preliminary call with you that I received from the dealership after submitting an online lead. And then we're going to kind of talk about what I have in my hands. And the funny thing is, at the end of all of this, I would definitely do business with this dealership again because although they kind of came out a little inappropriate on their numbers that they sent over the first time, we eventually got there. But they also weren't jerks about it when I said this isn't right. At the end of the day, math ultimately won, as it always does. But my client had me to help negotiate along the way, and all they did was sit at home and wait for the car to show up in their driveway. So please listen to the call with the dealership. So I submitted for information on the dealership's website to kind of have them reach out to me. Sometimes I like to do that, sometimes I like to call in. This time I was just feeling let them call me. So the first numbers that I got from the dealership were just not right. And the first numbers I'll put up on the screen, but basically the dealership came out at $1,000, $478 a month. And that's with a discount of $2,825, which is very different from what they were showing on their website. And I certainly understand and comprehend why. But what they also didn't do, and what most consumers aren't aware of, is that the money factor is also inflated. So I basically say to the dealership, let's continue on. I've got some texts I'll put up on the screen for you to see as well. So just looking to get some lease pricing if we can. You guys mentioned that we have to like talk to somebody at your store to get pricing. So hello.
Yeah, no worries at all. So I see you're interested here in the SV. Just want to make sure this is the right vehicle. And this is going to be on the Boulder Gray Pearl, right? I gotcha. So I have about 23 options here with that premium package. You said nothing but red.
Oh,
I do have a black.
is maybe I'm only looking just at your so it looks like I'm seeing 8 SVs that
Yeah,
are
so I have eight
okay.
SVs, and then of course the rest are Platinums and Rock Creeks, but I have eight
No.
SVs right now.
Yeah, looking for not the Rock Creek. It looks like the residual might even be a little bit stronger on the SV. So just trying to be budget friendly, but not the base model. So, all right. If I rule out red, it looks like you've got black and gray. Is that
Yes,
correct?
sir. So, yep. So I have the black and gray ones. That's the only colors I have right now. But of course, I am able to obtain.
No, don't need to do that. But it looks like you do have both of your grays have the black interior.
Yep, got it. And then, of course, I know you mentioned the lease. What were
Yes.
you looking for as far as terms, as far as mileage, and then, of course, if you were looking to put any money down?
So 12K, 1,000, maybe 1,500 total cash down, including all fees, taxes, first payment, acquisition fee.
Hmm.
So 1,500 total. 12K credit is tier one plus or whatever Nissan's top tier is called, 750 plus.
Hmm.
There is no trade in and looking to take a vehicle home by the end of the month.
Perfect. So, what I'm gonna do here is you should receive it here through text message. Give me about like 5-10 minutes, and
Okay.
then what I'll also do is just send you a video of the vehicle just so you could at least see it and let you know, hey, it is here and available.
I mean, you've got real pictures of it on the website, and we have the Rogue now, so it's not overly necessary to spend the
I
time on
gotcha.
it at the moment.
I
But that one
gotcha.
does
No
have the
worries.
premium package with the additional cold weather package. Yes, yeah,
Correct.
they're tricky to. Some of the SVs are filtering back like the Rock Creeks, so I got a little thrown off when I was
Hmm.
searching for the car. So yeah, thank you very
Yeah,
much.
no worries. Sometimes that does happen, especially now where a lot of the stuff on the Rogues or even Pathfinders, Frontiers, where some things do have it, some things don't. But of course, this is everything you're looking for. So what I'll do is again, give me about like 5-10 minutes. You should receive it here shortly. All right.
Great. And will that be like an actual breakdown showing the structure, or is it just going to be like this is your payment?
Correct. So it's going to show you all of of course, the payment. It'll also
Yep.
show you the amounts you're looking to put down, the mileage, as well as our fees.
What about like sale price and things like that?
Yeah, so everything's going to be on that proposal for you, just so again,
Awesome.
it's a little bit easier to look at.
Great. I will wait for that via text and go from there.
Perfect. Talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yep,
Talk
yep.
soon. Bye.
Bye bye.
So the response from the sales guy, who again I would definitely do business with again, was very responsive and very thorough and helping assist us. But at the end of the day, his goal is still to sell the car for as much money as possible. And my goal is to get the car for my client for as little as possible. So I have the $1,000 down 478 quote, and I say to the dealership, I know the money factor is marked up. Well, his reply is it's just an estimate. And that's a great reply because it allows them to hold at this point, $25 a month worth of potential profit. Now, if somebody came in at a tier 2 or a tier 3, which is less than the top credit available when you go to lease a vehicle, they would likely still continue to mark it up. But his response was, it's an estimate. And it's really not. Dealerships always are running credit based on top tier credit. In this case, they did that too, but they weren't aware that I would know what the money factor rate was. So the buy rate in this case was 163, and they were marking it up $25 a month. And how do I know offhand it was 163? Because on this sheet, they have 163. On this sheet that's marked up $25 a month, they don't. So I get the sales manager to call, and that's when I get my third set of numbers from them. So I had the discussion with the sales manager, very civil, great conversation with the sales manager, which is part of why I would totally do business with this dealership again. And he sends over new numbers. Well, I get those numbers after I math. Basically, the dealership was advertising a very, very nice, hefty discount that was only eligible if you were financing the vehicle, and we weren't. So we lost the $3,500 customer cash rebate, however you'd like to look at it. Although I guess they should be looked at differently because customer cash may be applied pre-tax dollars, where a rebate you do have to tax it. So depending on how Nissan is actually saying to the dealerships, we're providing this money to you, is how it would be taxed. Some states tax rebates, some states don't. So the sales manager sends over the new numbers, and now we're actually talking properly. They're giving the discount that they were showing online, which in their second set of numbers, they were still trying to, what I'd like to say, steal the rebate. So the difference between the second set of numbers and the third set of numbers was them actually giving me the rebate we're entitled to. And that's something I talk a lot about with my clients and in videos I want to make, is like, we never confuse a rebate or an incentive as a discount. And a lot of dealerships like to do that. And that's exactly what happened here, because if you don't ask for it, you'll never get it. The new third numbers actually have the proper dealer discount and the rebate, but I'm still not happy because, well, I guess I'm never happy with numbers. I ask for a little bit more and they meet me halfway. Plus, I got delivery thrown in for my client. I don't ever guarantee that. It's always a massive plus if we're able to. If a client says we absolutely have to get the car brought to their house, we do. We make that happen. In this case, that was kind of the icing on the cake. So if we look at our first numbers to our last set of numbers, 1,000 down, 478, 1,250 down, 400. Now, for those of you that are saying you're putting more money down, you're correct. But 250 over 36 months is, let's say, 478 with another 250 down. Go ahead and math it if you like. Takes us to about let's just say 470. So we go from 470 with what is 1,250 down to 1,250 down, 400 a month. That's $70 a month from where the dealership first started. And the dealership was actually giving a discount to start. They just weren't giving the right discount. They were marking up the money factor. So my client sitting at home has no idea any of this is happening, that I have to get 4 sets of numbers here. And I present these numbers, final numbers, because it's, I present the final numbers to my client, say, went back and forth with this dealership a few times, shopped it around. This is where I ended up. I'm very happy with this. They're going to bring it to you. So first set of numbers show a $2,825 discount with a $1,325 rebate built in there. So they're really only discounting the car $1,500 in real dealer discount, plus they're marking the money factor up. I think it was 40 basis points if I remember offhand. He lives in a major metropolitan area, very condensed, and a lot of dealerships in that area like to play some crazy games, add-ons, marking up the rate. Saved him $4,154 on the car itself. That did include the $1,325, and I'm including that as savings because, well, the dealership tried to steal it and I got it for him. Just like I'm accounting for $963 in rate savings because the dealership marked the rate up to start, and I have receipts for that. You can't tell me 478 minus 452, and that's pure money factor. That's pure interest that the dealership gets to mark up, and they get to keep the majority of that markup. Overall, I'm documenting $5,117 in savings for this client, and I have the receipts for it. From where we started to where we ended up, they were showing a fantastic discount on their website, but when I reached out to them, they tried to steal that rebate, that lease cash. And a lot of consumers wouldn't have caught that. Leases are so manipulative. There are so many different factors and variables that go into leasing a vehicle. And honestly, a lease is way more difficult for me to do for a client because there are so many different factors, but it's just part of the process. And that's why it's important to have me by your side because I know when a money factor is marked up. I know when a dealership is trying to steal the lease cash or steal a rebate. I used to do it. When I sold cars, I could easily show somebody a massive discount in front of their face on the screen because I ran my own numbers and I could very easily manipulate numbers to show them a massive discount. So they think that, I'm getting a great deal. I'm getting a great deal. Well, when it was all said and done, I was selling the car for over sticker. And the reason for that is the money factor. Consumers are not fully aware of what a money factor is. And even when it's on paper, 0.00163. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's a good rate. I don't know if it's a bad rate. And I don't even know what it is. Money factors. Going to be doing some videos on leasing, and the money factor can truly make or break a deal. Now, there is a base money factor, just like there is a buy rate. It is a buy rate, but the dealership has the ability to mark it up. And it's a lot easier to mark up a money factor because it's not printed on the contract. The rent charge typically is on there, but nobody's paying attention to that when you review a contract, but we do. We know to look for things in different spots because it's what we do every day. We've caught dealerships dealershipping at the very, very end. Not in this case. Funny enough, it was for the same client. He had us do another lease for him. Very, very, very end, dealership throws in a key plan for $579. We never agreed to that. He didn't want it. We pushed them and pushed them and pushed the dealership on this Sienna for him. And the dealership at the very last moment throws in a key plan. We spot it, we get it removed. Well, how did we not know that that was going to be in there? Because they basically just threw more money on his trade. And we had already pushed them a lot on his trade. His trade was a little rough, but I guess finance manager, sales manager, used car manager, somebody was able to help their finance manager bro out and allow them to put a little bit more money in it to manipulate to get the key plan in there. But we caught it. We saved him another $579 on the spot. That's why it's important to have us on your side. So please let us be your car haggler. And when was the last time you changed your oil?